Nepal is very ancient, right from the hoary past. These are just northern plains or northern region of the Indian subcontinent at one time. One attempt of what happened in Nepal was to create a spiritual body of a nation, creating centers across the geography of the country so that the very nation operates like one body. Active moments of spiritual processes were kept up to see that everybody who lives in the region are naturally spiritual, that nobody will escape.
These trips are getting a bit too organized for my liking and a bit too comfortable for my liking. But don't let the organization or the comfort deny the possibility of being touched by Kailash. People used to walk all the way from India, Russia, from North Africa. For thousands of years, people have been coming every year. There is nearly a 12,000 years history of an unbroken line of pilgrims coming from southern India. As we are going through the journey, you're going to fly to Lhasa and drive in an air-conditioned bus. Too bad. But I want you to, in some way, try to, at least mentally, your bodies may not be fit enough to do that kind of journey of walking 3,000, 4,000 kilometers. But at least mentally, I want you to appreciate walking through the mountains, what it would have meant. Because one important aspect of a pilgrimage is we could have done it anywhere. That if you sit with me here and simply willing to dissolve, no problem, no need for any pilgrimage. But you know, you need to be worn down. Yes, otherwise you won't wear down by yourself. If you dissolve by yourself, no problem. So pilgrimages were created in such a way that by the time you get there, what you think of yourself is worn down. But with this kind of arrangement of good hotels, airplanes, buses, they're not going to wear you down. But you must do it mentally. Just because something is coming to you easy in today's times, you shouldn't miss the significance of what's coming. When people walked all the way from India, if anybody came back from Kailash, because that is also a question mark, people went, not everybody came back. So if someone came back from Kailash in the Indian culture, someone has seen Kailash and come means just seeing him was considered a great fortune. Because in some sense they went back home completely transformed. It's my wish and my blessing you should become like that. That seeing you must be a fortune for people.
Around a little bit, just get acclimatized to the altitude, just walk around, don't go too far, just around here. Right now, we're doing around less than 9 kilometers. Right now, we're around 8,000. We are touching 9,000. Reach Piti Lake. Today, the cloud, you can blow the cloud away. We will see Annapurna. Annapurna is a magnificent sight.
If we have to generate a certain level of possibility to touch and experience something, we need a certain cohesiveness, which I see right now is a little bit not there, but it's okay, it's only the day 2 we're here, it's all right, but I want you to make that effort that energetically we must be like one possibility, only then something can be done, otherwise we'll be just walking. I think just to walk, you could have walked by yourself, you don't need me. Yes, we want to enjoy the mountains. Yes, we want to enjoy the food. Yes, we want to enjoy the company of the people. All that is fine. But that's not the reason why we came here. Not for social contact or for food or anything. We didn't come for these things, none of us. So I want you to keep that focus. Today we're going to this place called Nauri Court, which is almost 50 meters below where we are right now. It's 2,800 meters. This is supposed to be one of the 12 villages of the Kali tribe. This tribe is racially Tibetan in origin, but in practice and in culture, they've always been Hindu, and now they've imbibed a little bit of Buddhism also. So this is a unique tribe which practices both Hindu way of life and Buddhist little bit. So we would like to set the pace to slowly transform picnic into pilgrimage. And all of you, whatever country you come from, you've heard of Krishna at least? There's someone who was very close to him, whose name was Arjuna. All his life they were together. To emphasize how close they were, the story goes about to say they were together for 3 lifetimes. In spite of such closeness, when he wanted to deliver the most significant message that he wanted to offer experientially, he waited till they were in a battlefield. A battlefield, if you look at it from outside, you look at it as cruelty, you look at it as death, you look at it as so many things. But the thing about the battlefield is, it is the most extreme situation a human being can be. So he chose that situation where every moment is life and death. He chose that situation because he knows otherwise he won't get the point. If in the comfort of his palace, if he had said the same things, it would have just gone by. In a situation where your mortality is hanging in your face, so there's no escape. When people are shooting at you, there is no escape, your mortality is hanging in your face. He wanted that situation. Only when that situation occurred, then he spoke. Most people would imagine in a nice peaceful place, somewhere in a forest or an ashram would be the best place to teach. But in comfort, most people are not sensible enough to perceive anything in comfort. It would be great, the world would be great if people could perceive everything in comfort. It's a wonderful thing. But most human beings will not. They have set themselves up against themselves like that. It is not that comfort is against knowing, but unfortunately, a very large percentage of human beings don't get it that way. So he set this example of trying to teach in a battlefield. So we can't set up a battlefield. In a way, that's why I trek. At least you must feel mauled. This is not tough enough. But we must set up something for you. All of you must go dive into Titi Lake and run up the slope. This is not about just torturing oneself. This is not about making life difficult. I'm just saying, you must be conscious. If you're conscious, there is no need to set up extreme situations. If you're unconscious, then you have to be beaten into it somehow. That's the whole thing. So being in the mountains should be made use of as reasonably extreme situation compared to the home situations that most of you live in, the daily work situations that you go to in your office or wherever. Compared to that, this is a reasonably extreme situation. You must make use of these extremes. Not complain about it, not come to terms with it, but make use of it as a way to opening yourself up. See, if you want to just look at it as a mountain, well, it's beautiful, no question about it. But that's not why we're going to enjoy the beauty of Kailash. There are mountains and mountains all over the world as beautiful or far more beautiful than Kailash. But there is a certain energy, certain knowledge, certain possibility, certain overwhelming presence. If we don't touch that in some way, Kailash is just one more piece of rock on the planet. I don't want you to go up to Kailash and come back like a yak. A lot of yaks go up every day, but come back with nothing. And they're happy because going up the load was big, coming down load is less. So we need to go up in a different way. For this I need some cooperation from you, that all of you become like one. That somewhere we must be able to melt you a little bit. I'm not expecting all of you will merge into one and burst. I'm not such an optimist. But a little bit of merger, a little bit of togetherness, a little bit of oneness must happen. Then we could do something, okay? Don't look in different directions when we do something, everybody involved in that particular act. Simple way of bringing it together. First 40 minutes today is a very easy walk. I want all of you to very gently, as gently as possible, not loudly, chant Brahmananda Swarupa and walk slowly for the first 40 minutes. After that, you can train normally.
There are innumerable legends as to have in every part of Himalaya, every little cave, every rock, every peak, every valley has some legendary saint or a yogi visiting these places, doing certain type of work in the area. If you, as you're seeing here, and particularly if you travel in the Indian part of Himalayas, it's a ceaseless labyrinth of… you can be going in and out of valleys endlessly, not knowing where it began, where it'll end. But every place has a legend, has a story, has something to say. Here also there are. But more than that, The nature of Himalaya is such, and the people's strength of devotion and emotion and focus towards their ultimate well-being, not being bothered about their daily comforts, but only being concerned about the ultimate liberation, has been so strong that it is seen that every pebble that you walk upon is an expression of Shiva. There has been… I have spoken in these lines that there are 33 million gods and goddesses in India. Right now there are campaigns going on. These people are saying there are 33 million gods and goddesses, we have to straighten them out. There's only one God. You would be burnt. 500 years ago, you would be on the stake for sure. In Europe. So, it has been… this is not just limited to this culture, it's been everywhere, but effectively burnt out in Europe and Arabia and Northern Africa. The only place which is still alive is this region. This entire thing is called Bharatvarsh, which means the Indian subcontinent, where somehow we still manage to keep it alive in spite of over 1,000 years of invasions and very brutal means super brutal rulers. In spite of that, they couldn't kill it because people's devotion and longing and the seeking within them was so deep, they couldn't make them into believers because seeking was so intrinsic to their intelligence. Do what you want, you could not make them believe that there is somebody, one person sitting up there and doing all this nonsense for you. They just never couldn't succeed in that. So, now we are walking through this sacred land. It's for you to allow yourself to experience every pebble, every plant, every leaf, every breath of air as Shiva. Because if what is divine is sitting up there, I really don't want to have any business with it. I can't say it's him, of course. I don't want to have any business with him if he's sitting up there and doing all this nonsense. But that which is source of creation is throbbing in everything. Everything animate and inanimate is reverberating. The question is only, are you perceptive enough, sensitive enough to allow this to happen to you? It is only a question of the thickness of the skin. If we peeled off your skin, even if gentle breeze went by, but if you had a thick hide, even if we lash you, you don't know it's happening. Isn't life lashing you in so many ways? But still you don't know. Because people have developed a thick hide. So what you chant, what you do, these few days, I want you to skin yourself down where there is no skin on you. You can feel everything. If anything moves 50 feet away, here you must feel it. If you have no skin, you will feel everything. Slightest thing, you will know. So it is just a question of thickness of the skin. I know you're wearing those down jackets and all that. That shouldn't bother you, that's only for the cold.
Today's trek is a very easy walk, 9 kilometers. We're going down to 2,700 meters, about 100 meters down below this. Little small ups and downs are there. So if we just do a brisk walk, we may be done in 3 to 4 hours' time. But today we want to make use of it. So, first hour and a half, you must chant very gently. I want you to chant like… If you chant like this, you can't do it without awareness. You have to stay on it. Stay on it, and if you stay on it, you may fall into a ditch. So you must stay on it and stay alert to everything else, okay? Forget about the people around you, don't try to stick to your friends and family, just walk by yourself. You, the chant and the mountain, first hour and a half. If you wish to gossip after hour and a half, it's up to you, but if you wish to continue the sadhana, just continue the sadhana. We are going to a place called Marpa, which is mispronounced. It's actually Marpa, but it's been mispronounced and the village named as Marpa because Marpa, who was a very famous I would say he became a kind of a spiritual teacher, but he is more famous in the tribes because of his occult powers, because of his sorcery, that people believe that he flew and came here and went. Flying, he could have, I'm not questioning that. But just to tell you a small incident, when I first came to Vellangiri Hills and I wanted to go up to the 7th hill, we took the difficult route from the north side. And I took a few tribals and went. We went up in about 3¼ hours. Normally people take about 7 to 8 hours. So all the tribals came down and said, Sadhguru Parakaranga. That meant Sadhguru flies. So fortunately I controlled it there. I climbed up rather quickly, so they said I'm flying. So it could be that way, or it could be maybe he really flew. I don't want to take it away from him because he was engaged in a certain level of sorcery. In the morning someone came to me asking, what should I do looking at the mountain? I said, you should not even look at the mountain. You should simply look. There is nowhere written that this is a mountain. Is it written except in your mind? Just learn to look at it simply. This is mountain, this is river, this is rock. It's not so. This is all made up in your mind. In existence, simply it's there. So you don't even try to do anything, simply look at it without naming it, without calling it beautiful, without calling it this, simply paying attention to everything, at the same time keeping a gentle, very gentle, subtle chant going. This will do things to you. They want you to mature and sprout. Let's go. Pokhara is an interesting place and you will stay on an island, a small island in the river. It's called a fishtail lodge or a resort where every room that you stay, there will be things saying that John F. Kennedy stayed here, Prince of Wales stayed here, so you will be staying in the same room. Yes, I also stayed.
Yeah. You're on that room.
So, is everybody fine with the bus ride?
Yes.
Because it's not a new type of terrain or something, it's about the same kind of terrain. And fortunately or unfortunately, they've made this road and you'll have to walk on the road. I don't find this great walking on the road because this was not there earlier. This is fresh this year, this road. So, is this fine with everybody?
Yes.
This means morning you must be up early. By 5:30 you must be out of the tents, bags ready, everything, so that they can pack up and get everything on the bus. Fine with you?
Yes.
So we're doing that.
हाम्रो सहायता अनि मद्दत अनि खाना सबैको लागि धेरै ठुलो धन्यवाद हामी सबैलाई।
So the entire effort of going to Kailash is just this, that something on the way, either a meditation or a yak, something will shake you off your present comfort levels of your dimension in which you exist and give you a taste of something else. Just the sheer uncertainty, but it's becoming too uncertain. Look at the kind of place we're sitting in. This is not how people travel to Kailash. The first few times when we sat for satsangs, it was pouring rain, everybody sat with plastic sheets on their head, listening like this. They can't hear what I'm saying, boo is going on, wind. Outside, in front of Manasarovar. Now things have changed. Comfort has come, but I want you to not allow comfort to become a disabler, but make it an enabler. The body is comfortable, this means we must be willing for more, isn't it? So Kailash is not a one-day affair. You have to keep this within you and allow it to grow. Those who went to Kailash for thousands of years have always experienced that in some way it was a game changer for them in their life, because they kept it alive within themselves. So, it is not one more touristic trip that you made and went home and you took selfie with Kailash. You held it like this in your fingers? It's all right, what is it? The most important thing is you must keep it within you. You must understand the entire culture of India, Nepal, all these areas is an understanding about this, that a form, a right kind of form, if you hold it within you, it can transform the very fundamentals of your life. If you went to your temple, whatever temples you go to, they did not tell you, you must pray. They did not tell you, you must petition your God, because Shiva doesn't have an office. doesn't accept petitions. They only told you, you must have darshan. Darshan means you must behold in such a way that the image becomes a part of you and grows within you. This is not about seeking the divine, this is about aspiring to become the divine. So, this is not about going to Kailash and say, Shiva, please get me my new house. This is about holding it within you, it's about darshan, it's about beholding. It's not about prayer, it is not about petition, it is about darshan, to behold, that's all. If you behold an image of a certain reverberance, then it grows within you, because a form is not just in the physical form. See, right now, whoever is dear to you in your life, they are more dear to you when they are not around. Isn't it so? It is possible your family may even be missing you. When you're there, they may be cribbing and clashing, but when you're not there, they may be missing you. Why? Because your form that they hold within themselves is better than the form that they see here. Isn't it? So form is not just in its physical existence. If you hold the form within you, it can become very precious. So you must hold the form of Kailash within you, that is more important. So always they told you, whether you went to a temple or you went to your guru or you went somewhere, the important thing is darshan, just to see, that's all. Not to pray, not to petition, not to do something else, just to behold. That's all you need to do, that's simple.
Don't go away, there's more. We're just about 2.5 hours from Manasarovar and having made the trip, it's important that you approach it with the right sense of receptivity. So few simple things to do. We will set it up in every bus, please stick to this. So we will chant a mantra which we have in these few years done certain things with the sound in such a way that it works well for you to be receptive to what is to be expected in Manasarovar and Kailash. All your cell phones must be switched off, not silent, okay? Totally off, till we do the process tomorrow morning. Because this is a world of reverberations. Some people walk around like rocks on this planet without feeling anything. Some people feel something, some people feel much more. It all depends on how sensitive we are. On top of it, if you have a gadget on your body which is constantly doing something else, it is a sure way of unnecessarily distracting your system. Shiva Shambho Shambho Shiva Shambho Shambho
Shambho I came to Manasarovar, and what happened there, like when I was young, my great-grandmother used to tell me fantastic stories. Stories, inside stories, inside stories, inside stories. We go for vacation for 30 to 40 days. One story would start and go on and on and on. Almost every vacation, the story would never close. So we are dying for the story to close, but she says, "Come next time." I thoroughly enjoyed the stories, but even when I was 4 or 5 years of age, I never believed those stories. They are fantastic stories. Because I was born a skeptic. As I grew, I became a super skeptic. Can't believe anything, that's my problem. But after coming to Manasarovar, I'm willing to believe any toothless grandmother story anybody is willing to tell, because what's happening here is more fairy tale-ish than fairy tales. It's too out of the world, too illogical, something that just can't fit into. How much ever I bend my logic, it doesn't fit in. So since then we've been coming almost 12 years now, and I must tell you, Manasarovar is not of any spiritual significance, let this be known. It has a mystical dimension to it. Just keep yourself with the one single task of beholding
Kailash to have darshan, nothing else. I'm with you. So.
So, it is a one-way transaction. You are throwing up all your emotions to create moments of receptivity. Not to please me means nothing. But it's important. With a great sense of devotion and love, you look at something, because otherwise you will not be receptive. So it's for your receptivity, not for enhancing Kailash or not even me. It doesn't. So this is not to insult you. This is to just tell you that all that you need to do is open the doors. There's no circus to do. There's really no circus to do. Spiritual sadhana is not circus, just you have to open the doors, that's all. But just opening a door is not a simple thing for most people. They have become a world by themselves. The idea of coming to a place like this is that you become a part of the world. When you live back home, you are a world by yourself, isn't it? You are the world. You know the song. Everything is you. At least the mountain rubs you down a little bit. There is a world. You're just a tiny creature in that. Mountains make you understand that very clearly. That's one way of opening up. If you stop living in your own world and come down to the Creator's creation, that's all. Everything else will happen. So, being here at Kailash, see how to keep the doors open.
So now, having been in the presence of Kailash, you must do this much. You must make a constant effort not to make conclusions about anything. Not to think, I know this person, I know this person, I know this person. You don't know a thing, because if you think you know them, then you're telling me that I'm a bloody fool, because you think they cannot be transformed.
If you think, right now you came to know something about them and you think this is what he is, what you're saying is, everything that I am doing is stupid and is not going to work. Because you don't believe things could change tomorrow morning dramatically. A human being can change from this to that. Like that, a world of change can happen in a day, in a moment. From unwillingness to willingness, if they move, it can just happen in a moment. Their willingness may come in constipated installments, that's another matter. That's how it comes, isn't it? Your willingness comes in a very constipated state. Though these buses were stopping for tea stops so often, that has been flowing freely. This this has to flow, isn't it? Please make it flow, otherwise before you know what the hell happened, people will be attending your funeral. Yes. Yes, it is like that. For most human beings, that's how it is. It's my wish and my blessing. It should not be that way for you. Before we come to your funeral, something wonderful should have happened to you. Make it happen for yourself.
What is there in Kailash? It is, for most people, it is just a religion, there is a mountain, people believe that there is some Shiva, Parvati. The way Sadhguru explained as to what you can experience there, and how you should experience. It is not about coming to these places, but it is about coming to these places with Guru, with someone who knows about these places, with someone who can explain to you about these places. So whether it was a dip into the Manasarovar or it was going to Kailash, it was the initiation process. Entirely, it was a fantastic experience.
We were on the bus approaching Manasarovar and our eyes were closed because we were chanting. But for some reason, I quickly opened my eyes and I saw Manasarovar from a distance. And I had this overwhelming feeling of awe, of wonder. I can't really put it into words.
I will cherish those memories where I was walking right behind Sadhguru. I'll cherish watching his feet for all those tens of kilometers. I'll cherish those memories forever.
There was something that happened which I could not explain, which could not understand either. It was extremely powerful. I still don't know how to explain what happened.
When we, in the end, are able to be in front of Mahadeva at Kailash, we are no more ourselves. It has helped me delve deeper into who I am as a person and stretch myself towards getting a glimpse of what can become of me.
This trip is undescribable. It is probably the best trip of my life. Every satsang, every moment, every time that we spent with him was so much of learning.
A part of me is with Kailash, but I also feel that Mount Kailash is with me. And I thank Sadhguru and Isha for making this possible.
I have no words to thank Isha, and I have no words at all to thank Sadhguru for taking out time for all of us, for being so patient with us, for answering every question which was there in everyone's mind. Thank you very much. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you.